Hey, what is up, you guys? Today we are talking about some barefoot shoes. Shoes that are for, working with your feet. Typically in my life, I have worn sneakers like these. Let me raise this up. I have always been like a Vans guy. I like a little bit of a playful shoe like these Nikes. I just find that it sets off my style to have something like that. You don't believe me? Look at this hidden candid camera that we found of an incredibly stylish person, just randomly on the street, who happened to be wearing these things. And I have a camera around all of Portland that looks for like new shoes, and they're just triggered automatically when something stylish goes by. I created the algorithm. Anyways, the point is, I used to wear shoes like these all the time. I love them. I love the like low-key aesthetic, especially like, getting a boat shoe or something like as I did that, literally like sand just fell out. By the way, these Sperry gold cups, boy, is that extra like $30 worth it. But something kind of crazy started happening to me where these shoes I ended up getting a thing called neuroma, which is like an inflamed nerve or something in my feet. I then started learning more about barefoot stuff. Anyways, this isn't gonna be your introduction to like why to wear barefoot shoes. If you're here, you're probably already searching for barefoot shoes. But the challenge with barefoot shoes, of course, is the vast majority of them look super lame. No offense, but a lot of the times they look quite lame. It looks very like, it just doesn't look very cool, man. So in this video, what I want to talk about are the best casual barefoot shoes. Some of them, I'm gonna do a wide range of styles, and land on a couple that actually have been like things that I've been wearing nonstop for the past like 3 or 4 months, and I love them. Okay, so the first company we're gonna talk about are Xero with an X, X-E-R. Oh, and I love the founder of this company. I love the mission of this company. A lot of the barefoot world is related to like, a lot of the primal movement world. And that's kind of related to a little bit of like, holy crap, we're just monkeys world. And that's a little bit related to like this like biological like nutrition, whole foods kind of movement thing. And sometimes that's sort of related to a little bit of the cosmic mystic, we're all one sort of like thing. I'm actively traversing a lot of those. And so I like what I'm getting at is I guess all of that to say, I like the founder of this company. But I will say that their aesthetic isn't really my style. Let's take a look at the first shoe here. Okay, now I'm gonna be putting a link to each of these shoes in the description on YouTube. So if you're curious about any of them in this order, at this time code, I'll have a link to this shoe if it's still available. These guys, to me, they just don't hit the right, I don't know, there's a lot I thought when I saw it online, I thought it would work better than it does. The thing about barefoot, right, is that we've got a wide toe box so our toes can spread out. Also, we've got a zero drop and zero rise in this thing. So you end up feeling the ground a lot more, and you end up moving a lot more naturally. And the whole theory here is if you move naturally at the bottom where you're literally connected to the ground, it can affect the whole chain of movement all the way up. I've worked with a Rolfer, have you? But I don't need to go into too much detail. Some of you are gonna like this shoe. I just really disliked it. I don't find it to be that comfortable. I don't find it to be that stylish personally. It's sort of like, I see this happening with a few of the Xero shoes where it's like, yeah, it looks like a shoe. It doesn't really perform like on your foot. It's like more of like, it's like, we wrapped your foot in something. And I'm looking for a little bit more from my shoe. I want the way it moves. I want the way it interacts. I want it to feel like a natural thing on me. So let's look at their hiking boot here. This is an interesting shoe. I actually started using this and thought I would like it. I kind of was trying to like it. But the truth is it just kind of looked funky on my foot. It didn't feel right for me. If you are doing like outdoorsy hiking type stuff, this is actually a pretty great shoe. It's very minimal. It's very light. It's very, it feels like, these shoes kind of feel a little bit cheap. That's sort of, they feel a little bit cheap, even though like, yeah, they do. They feel kind of cheap. But some of you might be seeing these and going like, actually, that's perfect. I need the barefoot thing for my lower back, and I just do like day hikes. I would love something like this. This would be great for like day hikes. You need barefoot shoes. But wait, there's more boots coming. Now, this is another shoe from Xero, and these I actually really kind of like these. Your mileage may vary. I like the low key, the minimal aesthetic. I like that it's all vegan. I like that it's like the closest thing I found to an actual canvas Vans style shoe in a barefoot shoe. I will say that these don't breathe very well. So you get a little steamy and swampy in there, but at the same time, I'm fine with that. Like, I'm okay. I always wear them without socks. So if you wear them with socks, less so, you know, because wear some merino socks or something. So these ones from Xero actually are going into my private collection. Like, I like these. I think I'll even take these as like a minimal shoe when I travel. But this isn't the only shoe that I've fallen in love with after doing this. Let's check out from another company. Okay, now these shoes are from Vivobarefoot. Now these guys are making some fascinating products. They are using some interesting materials, and they are committed to some serious and hardcore values. I am smitten with the company, not necessarily all the shoes, but the company itself. All right, so let's look first of all at this boot. This is a big old boot. Now, I am not afraid of wearing a boot. I live in Portland, Oregon, where boots have become kind of cool, right? If you're in LA or New York or Portland or Tokyo, like, the boot is a thing that's kind of cool. So I saw these, I thought, man, if I could get away with that and it does the barefoot thing, I'd be stoked. My one bummer on these is that they're just too big for me. I didn't want to hassle the company and get like them to send me another small one. It was already a lot of work just to get these sent out. Thank you guys. They're a little big and you can tell. So if I wear a big wool sock, it's kind of okay, but still it's like this big platypus like beak up here. So if you go for these, and they're not always available, if you go for these, definitely order. I would say they, like, everything on the website is like, oh, it fits true to size. I would say, you know what I'd really say is I'd say order the shoe size that you are, and then order the shoe size below that as well, and then return whichever one fits worst. Here's the thing, I actually really like these shoes. I dislike the look of them. I liked using them. What's great about being inside of these is you just feel like there's a glove on your feet. You can go anywhere, you can do anything. It's made from great materials. Like, one of the things I read about these guys is the leathers and stuff they use, I think all their leathers are used from wild, cold species. So species of wild animals that need to be like culled down, which sounds like it's mostly happening in Australia, since everything in Australia is feral, including cats, and you're encouraged to just kill anything you can see out there because the cats are decimating the population of all these other animals because they're not indigenous to the area. It's very interesting. Cat hide? No, it's not cat hide. Are you kidding me? Nobody would do that. Meow. I really like the feel and the materials on these. I really like they have this like cork sole insert, and you can get a couple, let me get this thing out. They have a couple different thicknesses on this, so you can get a little cushion if you want. For me, a lot of the barefoot is about not having the cushion. But these are great because the soles feel so strong and sturdy when they're on. Like, you can really just tackle anything that comes at you. All right, now let's look at these guys, all right? Another one from Vivo. Now, what's interesting about these is they have the kind of like, it's almost like a wetsuit material mesh. It's more stretchy than a wetsuit material that is like a sock on the inside of the upper and around your heel on these. Really, really comfortable. They also have a kind of thickness to them that they're more insulated than other shoes. So these are like a great little like winter shoe. Again, another thing about these that you'll notice is they have a nice rigid sole. So it still can curl up and do all this stuff, but you notice it when it's on, you feel protected down there. Okay, and then going to my favorite of the group are these ones. They're more minimal. They're more, you could tell I've used these a lot more than I've used the other ones. What's great about these is they just feel so light and like, I don't know, breathable, and like there's nothing going on down there. And they definitely have like an Elon Musky, like kind of like dad vibe going on, like a future like tech guy barefooty thing going on in the look, but it's pretty low profile. It's not that bad. So this is a great comparison between like these two, right? I prefer the canvas and the sort of like, I'm always looking for something more casual, like a Vans. Like, to me, a Vans, casual, Converse All-Stars, something like that. That's where I want to be in. I like the sole, I like the smoothness of them, I like the quality of the materials. You definitely feel when you slip it on, I wear no socks with these guys, when you slip it on, it's like, It just feels awesome inside there. But it's just got a little bit of that like dad shoe look. And honestly, I'm just not ready. I'm just not ready to go quietly into that night. I am still raging against the dying of the light. But what's awesome about these shoes is they are so goddamn well made, pardon my French. They really are. They're lovely materials. They really are a passionate company. I hope to be able to review a lot of their other shoes because finding that mix of like, we've got the barefoot primal technology with like what we get our materials from. Some of their shoes are made out of like algae. So technology around our materials, ecology around our materials, but then also the aesthetics. To me, the aesthetics matter a lot. These are all very send a Tesla to Mars, which is cool, except for these. And unfortunately, I didn't get them in the right size and I didn't want to bug them to send me the right size. But I'm gonna take these. These are going into my personal collection. I don't know if I'll travel with those when I travel full time. We shall see. Okay, now look at these guys. These are from a company called LEMS. All right, these are their boots. And I gotta say, I fell in love with these. There's not a lot to look at. I mean, they're just sort of simple. I like these black ones especially because they're all vegan, canvas. They're really rugged. You can walk through anything with them. The thing about these shoes is they're so comfortable. They're so comfortable. I don't know if I've ever put my foot into something before that really made me go like, even though it doesn't look that cool, I'm gonna wear these because it's that comfortable. I do have a little bit of a problem with the look, right? It's kind of enough. It's like booty enough. That's what I like about it, is I can get away with it. But it definitely has a wider toe box, a little more of a snub nose vibe that feels a little sort of hokey. But I'm willing to make that sacrifice. And in the wintertime, I basically, like anytime it's a little bit chillier or whatever, I'm wearing these. They're so comfortable. I throw them on. I oftentimes leave them kind of laced loosely, not even tied up, so I can slip them on and off, just because it's nice when you can slip on and off a thing. But I'm also surprised. I've never really been a boot guy. I'm really surprised how much just getting into these and lacing them up for the day feels like this, like I'm ready for the day. And then you don't take off your boots. Like you are working, and once those boots come off, it's like you're done work. Now they also make them in this nice leather. These are like my camping. Anytime I went camping, anytime I went outdoors, it was like, let's just ruck around in these guys. And they ended up being awesome. I've fallen in love with these. Again, I'll oftentimes leave them laced loosely and I'll just kind of stomp around in them. I tend to, for my style and fashion, the black tends to fit a bit more. And I find that the black ends up looking a little less like this big boot thing, whereas this obviously has this big boot vibe. And in fact, I go to a sauna here in town, and I see I don't know whose they are, but I see a pair of LEMS black leather boots there that have just clearly been just worn for years. They're just destroyed in the best possible way. And so there's other people out there who are loving these shoes. LEMS, I really recommend these. If you like the look of them, get into them because barefoot's gonna change your life. Okay, so both of these, I gotta keep them around because like sometimes you want the canvas, sometimes you want the leather, know what I mean? Okay, then I couldn't help myself, and I just love little sneakers like this, right? And these are the Sauconys or Sauconys. They're like made to look vintage. I just love these. The thing is, not a barefoot shoe. Narrow. I took out the insole, right, to get myself closer to the ground. There's a slight rise here at the back, right? It's definitely not the same kind of comfort as anything we're talking about here. Not the same kind of barefoot quality as anything we're talking about here. But I thought I'd include them because I ended up getting these because sometimes I just need because of the outfit I'm wearing, I just needed to have like something very casual down there. And these do the trick. What's great about them too is they have all of that, minimalness to them. There's nothing to them. They fit into your bag. You can throw them in for travel. So for me, bringing a little shoe along, now it's a question of if I'm going to do these ones or these ones. These ones, some of my outfits are looking better with these, or it looked like I can survive these just, pretty decently. I still love these because they just add a little bit of that zhuzh, a little bit of that street juice to my outfit. And then finally, one more, the Birkenstocks, baby. These are the Clogs. These are the ones with the big old leather upper. And I've been wearing these for a couple years now, and I really do love them. They're not barefoot, okay? They don't have the kind of mobility. They don't have the kind of flatness in some ways, but they are orthopedic, all right? So any of you with like bad backs and things like that, this might be a better step to get into than going straight to a barefoot. So I include them here because learning how to work a Birkenstock into your life is like, I wasn't raised around that stuff. A lot of people are like raised with Birkenstocks. I wasn't raised around it, but I really respect it because you pay a little bit more up front, but they last forever and they get better with time. They're really comfortable. You do have to sacrifice a little of your look. You gotta go for a little bit of that farmer's market co-op vibe, but embrace the dirt on your roots, my friend. Okay, so that's a look at some of the shoes that I've reached out to a bunch of companies that I found, tried to get them to send me everything that looks interesting. I hope to do more of these in the future, so if you're into this barefoot stuff, if you're into the natural movement stuff, I am way into that stuff. I'm looking for products that help us to do that in a modern context. Now, if you purchase any of these things, please use my link in the description below to check them out, because oftentimes, not on every company, I'll try to get an affiliate relationship, which means that if you buy at no cost to you, they end up giving me enough money for a beer. So it's like you're buying me a beer through them. Let's make these guys buy me beers, you guys. But that said, don't need to do it. Do your own thing. This is just what I'm about and what I'm trying to do for a living. Hope you enjoy it. Hope you find the truth in this. Hope you find the truth in yourself. All right? That authentic self. That is the magic, my friends. I will talk to you later. Love you. Goodbye.
Bagworks.com. JaceReeves.net. Those are the websites.
I guess those are the websites.
Yeah,
He's wanting us to, I guess, go check out what he's up to or something like that.
Yeah, looks nice.